There's a quote I want to share. Just as ripples spread out when a single pebble is dropped into water, the actions of individuals can have far-reaching effects. This quote was by Dalai Lama. Folks, in today's episode, I'm going to share my personal story of what it felt like to experience the ripple effect. When good intentions was paired with the same energetic actions, the universe brings this magical flow of life. Tune in to find out. Let's cue the intro. Welcome to the Boom Vision Podcast, the show that empowers you to live an enriching life physically, mentally, and spiritually. I am your host, Benjamin Ye, and I created this podcast to give you perspectives on how to strengthen your mindset so that you can build optimal health, create aligned wealth, and connect with your higher self. It's all interconnected. Let's get to work. Hi folks, welcome to episode 87 of the Boom Vision Podcast. For today's episode, I want to share what it means to experience the ripple effect, particularly when you pair good intentions with equally resonating actions. So let's just dive right in. This personal story happened last week. So one of the weekdays after dropping off the kids in the morning, I came back and I parked my car in the garage. And as I was walking into the house, I noticed that the bird feeder that I have that's hanging around one of the branches on our backyard tree, it was empty. Now, in the morning, I don't usually eat breakfast. I usually drop off the kids first. When I come home, then I eat breakfast. And so usually when I come back, I'm pretty hungry. And so part of me, when I saw that empty bird feeder, I was thinking, man, I probably should refill that. But man, I'm hungry, right? So initially, as I was walking past it, I was thinking, you know what? Let me just eat first. I'll check some emails, and then later on before lunch, I'll come outside and I'll feed a bird feeder. But after taking a few steps, I was thinking, man, this feeling of hunger doesn't feel good. I was like, yeah, I don't want the birds to feel that either. So you know what I did? I actually turned around, opened up my garage, got the bird seed, and I filled the bird feeder. I was like, let me just fill it up because something tells me that the birds are going to be hungry too, right? So I did that. I went inside, ate my breakfast, and then came into my office and started checking emails and preparing for my Zoom call. And what was really interesting was that halfway through my Zoom meeting, outside the window, through the corner, I can almost see the bird feeder. And what was very odd was that there were at least 5 to 6 young birds that were just flying around in front of the window. Usually I'll get 1 or 2 pigeons or some birds that, that might be hanging around, but there was a lot of birds that was just flying around the window to the point where I looked up and I was just, wow, what's going on here? And there's a sense of me feeling that, oh, I think they just came to say thank you because I loaded up the bird feeder. I was like, okay. And I was the person I was on a Zoom call. I happened to just take a break and I was just sharing with them, yeah, there's something weird's going on because there's a lot of birds in front of my window. But, I think they just came to say thanks. I really didn't think too much of it. So fast forward to the afternoon. That afternoon, my wife and I had a parent-teacher conference at school. And so we were thinking, you know what? Why don't we just grab lunch together and then we'll go to the parent-teacher conference, then pick up the kids and then come home. And so we ate nearby the school, but we were a little bit early. There was about, 20 minutes before our meeting with the teacher. And so my wife was like, why don't we just go to the nearby coffee shop? I can pick up some tea and maybe some dessert. I was like, yeah, sure. So we went to the coffee shop, got in line, and my wife wanted to order this tea and a chocolate chip cookie because it was vegan. So I was like, okay, I wasn't really feeling like any dessert. So I just let her get what she wanted. And then after we ordered, we came back to the table and she was thinking like, should I get the cookie or should I get something else? I was like, well, what do you feel like having? He said, well, I want that cookie, but what's this other thing they have there? I was like, well, it looks like a brownie, like a cookie brownie type of dessert. And she's like, well, because they were all sliced with different slices, she was thinking like, well, which usually are the good ones? And so in my mind, I was thinking like, well, the edge pieces are the best, right? Because they're crispy and, usually it's not as all gooey, but you get that different textures. So I was telling her like, usually if it was me, I would get one of those edge pieces, either on the corner or on the edgewise, because, they're both crunchy and gooey at the same time. And as I was sharing that with her, she's like, oh, okay. All I did was just think it. And in my mind, as I was talking about it, I was like, maybe I do want dessert. Man, it sounds good if I had a brownie piece, right? But I was like, it's okay. Again, didn't think anything of it. What ended up happening was that when the person in the counter called my wife's name and she went up to get the dessert, there was another lady that came that was waiting for her dessert, and she already ordered that last chocolate chip cookie. So she already placed that order before my wife. But my wife got the last chocolate chip cookie. And so when she realized that, she was telling the lady, oh, no, it's okay. Why don't you just go in and take it? She's like, no, it's, and the lady was resisting, saying, no, it's fine. You already ordered. But I guess there was a little bit of a mix-up because the staff didn't bring that chocolate chip cookie to the lady. But my wife's like, no, it's okay. I was thinking about getting the brownie anyways. That actually looks pretty good. So please have this chocolate chip cookie. And the lady's like, are you sure? It's like, yeah, no, absolutely. Please take this chocolate chip cookie. It would bring me a lot of joy for you to have this. She's like, okay. And she was very gracious in accepting that. Now, the staff that was in the counter felt really bad. She's like, you know what? Let me refund the cookie that you bought because you didn't get one. And let me give you like 2 pieces of these brownies, right? And my wife's like, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You don't have to do refund. I'll just take the other dessert, the brownie instead. But the person basically gave her 2 pieces. And what did he give my wife? He gave my wife a middle piece and an edge piece, the one I was looking at. And so when he came back to the table, I was like, wait, what happened there? And she was explaining me what happened. Next thing I know, she's opening the box, and now I have this brownie in front of me. I was like, holy cow, right? But in that instant, that's when it hit me. I was like, wow, wait a minute here. Like, I was telling my wife, whoa, earlier this morning, this whole bird feeder was empty, so I went to fill it up. And it's like, I had the intention of feeding the birds before I was fed myself. I was just like, didn't think anything of it, but, I was hungry, but it's like, you know what? Knowing that feeling of hunger, let me just feed the birds. It's not a big deal. And in planning that intention and taking that action of filling up the bird feeder, fast forward to this afternoon, all of a sudden, it's like, I just gave it a quick thought. I looked at a brownie, telling my wife what it is, and I just thought of, wow, it'd be nice to actually have a brownie, but it's okay, I don't need it. But the fact that I thought it, and then literally within a few minutes, it appeared on our table, I was just taken aback by it. And so I was telling my wife, like, it's amazing when you just feel like you're in a flow of life. And the main takeaway I just want to share with you is just when I planted the intention, the seed of feeding others, the universe reciprocated that afternoon in feeding me and my wife. And it just reminds me of what I shared in episode 2, where I talked about the inner voice. And I shared this acronym, I am. I-A-M. I stands for intentions. A stands for actions. M stands for manifestation. Whatever you put your intentions to and you back it up with actions, you manifest. I am. That's why when you declare it out loud, I am powerful. I am love. I am forgiveness. Whatever words that come to you, it's such a powerful action to take when you match the intention with the same vibrational action. And that's what I want to share with you today, is this personal experience that I felt last week, this ripple effect. When you match the energy and vibrations of your why, of your intentions, with actions of similar frequency and vibration. When you do that, just let go of any expectations. Let go of any attachment to the outcome. Because somehow the universe and life will just flow it to you. You won't know the timing of it. But in that case for me last week, it was literally within 5-6 hours apart on the same day. And so in sharing that personal story, what are this week's action steps? This week's action steps is really simple. It's just 3 things. I want you to first of all pick any day of the week, whether it's the same day you heard this episode or tomorrow or any day of this week. Pick a day to take these action steps. The first step after you pick the day is on that day, I want you to think with positive and good intentions. What act of kindness do you want to do that day with the pure intention of just serving others? What act of kindness do you want to do that day with the pure intentions of just serving others? It could be whatever act of kindness you choose. Don't worry about how small or how big it is. The focus is just being pure with that intention. Is it buying coffee for the person behind you? Is it donating food to the local food bank? We've got Thanksgiving right around the corner. Is it volunteering for a charity that's meaningful to you? Whatever it is, no matter how small or how big, just pick with positive intentions an act of kindness. The second step is once you decide what that positive intention is of that act of kindness, I want you to take action. I want you to take action in a similar vibration of that intention. So if you want to buy someone coffee behind you, if you want to donate, if you want to volunteer, whatever it is, I want you to follow it up with action. Actually do it. Don't just think it. Do it. Pair that positive intention with that positive action. And then the third step is just let go of any attachment or expectation. Once you have the thought of good intentions and once you take that action, just be still, be present, and allow yourself to feel good. Allow yourself the space to feel that positivity and that gratitude to flow in your veins, to flow in your body. Let go of any attachment and any expectations. The intention for this week's action step is that I'd love for you to personally experience the magic of your own ripple effect. Now, here's a bonus action step for those of you who want to take the 4th step. I would love for you to share with me what was your act of kindness and what actions you took. Tag me on Instagram at Benjamin Ye, or text me on your podcast app, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can actually, within this episode, text me and just message me. Let me know what was your act of kindness and what was the action steps that you took. And in return, if you share with me your story, I will post it on my Instagram stories. I will share it with our Boom Vision community. So final thoughts for today's episode. There's a quote I want to share. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples. This quote was by Mother Teresa. I hope today's episode inspires you. Until next time, folks, be kind to yourself. Be in the light. Be you. Thank you so much for tuning in to my Boom Vision podcast. If you'd like to find out more about me and this podcast, head over to benjaminye.com. That's spelled BenjaminYeh.com. If you haven't already, click subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.